And we're back. We just defeated Belladonna and her lackey, Malocchio. And it's time, with the barriers removed, to venture further into the Dark Castle. I should have guessed. In a Dark Castle, it only makes sense. I like the noise he makes. Kaiser Mimic. You want to talk about a... not boom... bomb... I thought it said boombox. I swear I thought that said boombox. What a strange niche mimics fill. If you assume that fantasy worlds have any sense of like, dramatic natural irony, adventurers are such a huge demographic that an entire species can revolve around tricking and eating them. It's kind of comical if you think about it.
Where are we?
It's miasma. Be careful.
Miasma? I've always heard it as miasma, but okay.
Welcome. If you're here, then I assume Belladonna's no more. No matter. There are more underlings where that worthless pawn came from.
Ooh, tossing her under the bus.
But you three... yes. You three have proven quite useful. You slayed the Benevolons, imbuing the sword with their true power. If you wish,
There?
you may join me.
Give Elliot back! Have you no humanity?
Indeed, I have no humanity to speak of.
Kind of a dumb question,
With
Lise.
my own two hands, I slayed the King of Mavolia after he granted me power. I am now ruler of the land. For now. Soon I will absorb the Sword of Mana and the power of the Benevolons. I will be stronger than a god. I will be a supreme god. Behold, the birth of a new god. This is the end of the Sword of Mana.
You know, I'm sure the last thing the King of Mavolia said upon getting killed by his own heir was likely something really ironic, like, "No, I didn't see this coming," or something like that.
What should we do?
There's nothing you can do. Power is flowing into me. What's going on? This light, it's holding me back. It must be coming from the goddess of mana in the sanctuary. She's still alive. This world does not need two all-powerful gods. It's high time I destroyed the mana goddess once and for all. This will be the battle to end all battles. I must leave.
He's gonna do that villain thing where he just ignores the fact that we're the biggest threat to his ambitions.
What can we do without the Sword of Mana? We cannot hope to win against such a strong enemy.
Don't be ridiculous. You can't give up now. If you do, the world as you know it will be destroyed. Believe. Believe in yourself, Reese. You were chosen by the Mana Sword. It was you who pulled that sword out. And you did it with the strength of your heart. Not with the sword's power. You managed to defeat the Benevodons. If you work together, you can triumph over anything. Come on, let's go save the goddess and the world!
Fairy, you are right. And I must save Elliot. We have to do everything we can. I am sure we can do this. Let us go to the sanctuary now.
Well, there's nothing else for it. You thought the final battle would be here, but it's not. Thankfully, Flammy can notice us now that we're up here, and we can just get out of here. Now, if you left anything behind, and you want to get all the treasures, well, that's a different story. You will be forced to go through the better part of that again, but most of the dungeon is accessed via doors to before anyway.
Yes, there is no time to waste. Please let Elliot be all right.
Let us go. It's time for the final boss. I'm not just teasing you guys this time. This really is... This is it. This is for reals. Sanctuary of Mana gets one last map overhaul, including the resetting of all our convenient shortcuts. So that sucks.
No. No. Sanctuary of Mana.
His Dark Majesty is not going to get away with this. This is for Elliot.
Fairy, this isn't the time. We can be sad later. First, we have to get to the Goddess of Mana.
Oh, first we have to get over here. Since he's literally do us no good anymore. Oh, Angela just stuck her head into the camera, getting photobombed. We just lucked into some new helmet upgrades. Oh, so close. I think it'll actually level up in the middle of all these. You can only plant 10 items at a time, even if you have more seeds than that. Ooh, nice. I think I have that one, though. Oh, come on. Oh, it's gonna tease me by giving me a bunch of repeats. Yay. Oh no, level 5 is the highest. My mistake. Sweet. I guess I decided to take mercy on me. Plonk that on in. Ha. That was a waste. Oh well. Let's equip our new gear, save, and get on with it. Oh my, yes. That is a nice little power-up. Yeah, I already had the dragon staff. Thought so. But I'll take these. Alright, it just is what it is now. Now we get more of these shape-shifting enemies.
Here I go.
Thankfully, if you can stun them enough, you can kill them before they transform, which works. But as we saw before, if they keep changing shape rapidly, you're just going to have a bad time with it.
We have to go.
And the path that we took before is not the same that we need to take
We
now.
have to protect the tree at any cost.
That's the plan.
We should work together to defeat this threat.
Cyclone.
The annoying thing is, even if they're in the middle of taking damage, like that guy literally right just there, if they just decide they don't want to take damage anymore and transform, they just will. So unless they're like in their flinching animation, it doesn't matter. If they decide they just don't want to take any more hits, they won't. Sorry
I cannot forgive them.
to talk over the melodrama, guys, but it's like, come on, it's go time.
Be careful.
We're the heroes of a JRPG. Did you really expect to be anywhere first? Because that's just foolish. I appreciate the last-minute power-ups, but
Area is clear of threats.
like it is what it is now, right?
I've earned a rest.
I suppose some of our shortcuts are technically still intact. It's just the rest of the path is so mutilated it doesn't matter. Killing these guys fast is really the only strategy I have to offer.
Pointless destruction. I cannot forgive them.
Yeah, the Shadow Zed is one of those monsters whose names has been translated inconsistently over the years. I believe in Secret of Mana, the same creature was referred to as a Shadow Zero. And I believe in another instance they were called the Shadow Z. So now they're just Canadian Shadow Zeros, I guess. That's just a joke. I'm allowed to poke fun at Canadians. Gym Leader Ed said so. No, I'm joking. Don't take that seriously. Yeah, if for whatever reason you still haven't class changed, here's literally your last chance. Because we're walking past it now. Alas, the third class change into the fourth class cannot be done here. It's actually... Well, rather, we don't have the item we need for it, because that's a completely different quest line that does not start until you're in the post-credits content, which, as I said, I'm not going to do. If you want to see it, and you should play the game for yourself. It is on Steam. It's amazing. I just cannot say how much I love Trials of Mana and how grateful I am that they actually brought over an official translation at long last. Like, even in the early days of, like, fan translations for games and stuff, I found this fairly early on. I don't even really remember how. I probably was looking up Secret of Mana or something, and then someone mentioned this game, I think. And I started playing, and I'm just like, this is like a million times better than Secret of Mana. And so I played... I played the fan translation version, like, religiously for many, many years. So now that I can finally play an official version, let alone a fully dubbed 3D remaster, is just awesome. And I'm so glad that I live in the timeline where that's possible. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, that's the thing with Shadow Zeros. They don't turn into monsters, they turn into copies of you. Now, they're not exact copies, like they don't copy your stats or anything. They turn into a monster that has set stats based on that character. So hey, you got to see that in motion.
Such a shame! The tree has withered completely, and the goddess of mana is no more. Are you in pain? You'd become weaker without the Tree of Mana. Fairies are born to protect the tree, and perish without their purpose, I see. This is the end of the reign of the once mighty Goddess of Mana. Mavolia will rule over all realms with me as the world's supreme god.
No! I won't let you!
Ooh.
No, Fairy!
That was a gallant effort, though. Oh. Oh, dear.
So impatient! She wished for death so badly that she tried to go against me alone. Are you ready to admit that you have no chance against me?
You have no chance to survive. Make your time.
You should gracefully give up this fight. The world as you know it will be consumed by Mavolia. The new evil order will be ruled by me. There's no place for you here. Shall we end this? Now that I have godlike powers, I will shed this old, broken body and inhabit the Prince of Laurent instead. I will simply wear his body and cast my previous one and all its horrible memories aside. You will only see my true form for a moment before you perish.
I wonder if he'll turn, Elliot's acting that hammy. I mean, I kid. I actually like his delivery because it's hammy.
Yes! This is what the ruler of Mavolia, the human realm, and the sanctuary of mana looks like! I can feel the power within me. I will obliterate you myself!
Blah. And once again, we're just laying on our faces.
Who's causing this pain?
Probably your horns clipping into your model.
This ends here and now! Even without the tree or mana power to help us, we will never give up. Not without a fight! Not as long as our hero, the chosen one of the Mana Sword, is here! Without mana, elementals and spirits may disappear from the realm. But you should not lose hope. You will be creating a new world for everyone! Come! You must stand up and fight! The future is in your hands! Whether you can see us or not, we'll be with you always. So keep fighting! You can't lose!
You think you're so clever, but without the Sword of Mana, you cannot win. It is hopeless, and you are finished.
You're wrong! Don't you see? Even without the physical Mana Sword, as long as the Chosen One is here, the sword that lives in all of our hearts, that we call hope, will never disappear!
No! Ridiculous! You think your foolish illusion of hope can stand up against the power of a newly realized god? Think again!
Shonen monologue? Check. It's time to get going. Whoops, that was the wrong spell. How annoying. I'll sacrifice the elf for my greater good. Okay, let's pretend that didn't just happen. Angela, we literally just started. Oh yeah, this guy's whole gimmick is he will try repeatedly to change his element and thus his weaknesses and strengths. As he's doing this, he will also use a bunch of Luna magic like form change to try to turn us into Kora Poker. Which, as we all know, is the greatest form of indignity possible, because Kora Poker are the worst. But we just broke him out of Form 1, and now we're going into Phase 2. Remember the whole deal with Landumber? It's very reminiscent. Come on, Elf, get up. Now he's trying to empower all of his limbs. Better move first. Alright. That should help keep his annoying limbs in check. I'm not sure why my camera feels the need to be on the opposite side of the field, but hey, I'll work around that. Am I the only one, or does his hands kind of look like little Gaiacrus armor from Monster Hunter? Am I the only one that sees that? Now he's just straight up stealing moves from other monsters. Okay, Angela, put a little more excitement into that, please. Before we get completely destroyed. Alright, you're just going for it, huh? Yep, using Zanbei's fire attack now. Guys! Like, seriously, are you trying to get me killed? Because that's kind of how it comes off sometimes. I mean, I know Charlotte is in fact an elf, and thus killing me is her highest priority in life, but that does not excuse this kind of poor teamwork. I was hoping that would seal the deal, but a little more oomph is necessary. And we got it.
No. Mavolia. My rain.
Something, something, shonen anime trope, something, something, love and friendship are stronger than nuclear warheads, something, something.
Thank you for never giving in to despair. But the tree of mana is dead, and mana has disappeared from the world. I can't exist without mana. We didn't know each other for long, but I treasured our time together. I won't forget any of you. Don't worry, Reese. I managed to rescue Elliot during your battle. With the last of my power, I sent him back to Laurent.
Elliot is safe? Oh, Fairy, thank you.
Don't thank me. I was only able to rescue him because you were holding the enemy at bay. I'm just so glad I was able to do it before my time was up.
Do not go! Fairy.
Please, don't worry about me. You were fighting for everyone's future, including mine. Thanks to your triumph, I will now be reborn as the new goddess of mana.
What?
You see, fairies are like the seeds of the mana tree. Once they find a worthy person, someone with a pure heart that they trust completely, that fairy can become the new tree and goddess of the mana in the world. To bring that mana, the mana we have lost, back into this realm, I must take the tree's place and sleep here in the sanctuary. It may yet take 1,000 years for me to restore all of the mana. But if in 1,000 years your descendants still remember the Tree of Mana, I will awaken. I'm sure I can help them in their hour of need as well. But until I am needed in the future, I will remain here, asleep, quietly protecting the world, as this tree. This is where we part. My brave heroes. Farewell. May the Sword of Mana, the one that lives in all your hearts, shine on. Forever.
Charlotte! Oh, you are safe. I could never have faced your dearly departed parents if something had happened to you. I'm so relieved to see you unharmed.
Grandpa, what about you? Aren't you sick?
Heath himself managed to cure my illness. A vision of him came to me one night. He used forbidden dark magic to undo the curse and save me. sacrificing himself. Then he disappeared. I tried to stop him. There was no need for him to throw his life away for this old man's sake. But he wanted to atone for the darkness in his soul before it was too late.
Why did you have to do that?
Charlotte!
How?
The goddess of mana saved me. When I sacrificed my corrupted soul, I found myself lost in a dark abyss. But suddenly, a warm light rushed over me, and I heard the goddess speak. The goddess gave me what was left of her fairy life force and brought me back from the darkness. I would not be here if not for her. She saved my body and my soul. Charlotte, are you okay? It's okay. I will not leave you again. Hey, don't cry. You know the goddess is looking at this and laughing.
Mother!
Angela, where have you been? Oh, have you been skipping Jose's lessons again? My dear, you shouldn't antagonize your loyal subjects. Remember, you will be Queen of Altena someday. I know that it's hard, especially if magic doesn't come easily for you. But you can take all the time you need to learn it. I pray to the goddess of mana every day, asking for her blessings, so that you may learn magic faster.
Mother. Oh, Mother.
What's wrong, Angela? There's no need for you to cry. Oh, but please introduce me to your friends. I cannot believe something so horrible has happened. I don't remember any of it. How could a queen allow such madness? Even if I was being controlled, the idea that I would try to sacrifice my own daughter is terrifying. I am thoroughly ashamed. Please forgive me, Angela.
No, It's okay, Mother. You're still the true queen, and your people love you. I love you. Please, continue to rule over Altena fairly, as you always have.
Thank you, Angela.
Reese! Elliot! Are you alright? Uh-huh. I'm okay.
I'm so sorry, Elliot. I should have...
You know, I had a really weird dream. I saw Mother and Father, and they looked so happy. And they told me something important. They wanted me to return to Laurent and help you bring prosperity back to the kingdom. They said that I shouldn't keep relying on you for everything. So, I'm gonna try my best.
Oh, Elliot. Elliot and I will work hard to build Laurent back into the peaceful kingdom it once was. Even though this world no longer has mana power, please, continue to watch over my friends and me on our journey. We will do our best in the coming times.
And that was Trials of Mana. I don't really think that I can sum up exactly how this game has impacted me over the years, because it's been one of my favorites, no doubt about it. And this remake was just amazing. I think they did a really good job keeping it very much to the same tone and consistency seen in the original Super Nintendo game, because they weren't trying to make a super in-depth, complex story with tons and tons and tons of character nuance. They very clearly weren't doing that. But what they did do is they made a mechanically satisfying action RPG. And it was just an amazing game. And I think, honestly, they probably did the best they could by keeping the story simple. I think they actually did themselves a favor by avoiding needlessly complex storytelling so they could focus on the key elements of the game. And that was, whoever your lead character would have those kind of story events revolve around them for the most part, and then any kind of important bits can be filled in by other characters in the party where applicable. So I think keeping things simple and to the point was the best thing they could do for the overall design of the game. I still love this game. Like I said, I beat it to 100% on Steam. I was happy to do it. And there was a lot of stuff I didn't show, like there's a super bonus boss, the Black Rabbite. You have to be really strong to beat it, so I recommend getting your fourth class before you go and do something like that. The story of Trials of Mana also tends to resolve itself rather handily. Everything is just kind of good now, except now that mana is gone. Like, the entire principles underlying magic are gone. And they even just say as much, like, yeah, that's it. There's the power of mana is waning, as is all forces hinging on it. That the world itself is very much still intact, and the people of the world still can make for themselves a better future. But that's the point. The world changed on a fundamental level, but the people remain, and that's the most important thing, was we saved the people. And yeah, magic's gone, the elementals will disappear until the goddess is able to repower herself. But everyone here took something important away, as we're seeing here in these cutscenes on the left. But honestly, I think that's the best thing they could have done, was just embrace it wholeheartedly. And it's still just an amazing game. And I know AAA Squeenix releases are not what people generally come to my channel for, but that's kind of the thing. It's like, the Mana series has always played second fiddle to a lot of other Squaresoft titles, and Trials of Mana in particular, because it didn't get that Western release up until very recently. You can play the original in the Collection of Mana edition, which is the first 3 games in the franchise, and obviously the standalone game, which is the one you saw me play through. It's a little less grindy, it's a little more straight to the point, and it helps with some of the more annoying moments in the game, if we're just being honest. Was there anything I didn't like? Yes, I really wish I didn't bring Charlotte, because oh my gosh, Charlotte's terrible. You are the worst, Charlotte. Like, literally any other character would have been preferable. And I talked about it in brief and sporadically throughout the Let's Play, but the stories are grouped into 3 types, 3 basic storylines, with Duran and Angela dealing with a storyline largely revolving around the Crimson Wizard and the Dark Knight. Hawk, who we see here, is getting his what for, shares his story with Lise. So the whole thing with the Dark Majesty, the battle against ArchDemon, and the saving Elliot would have happened in his storyline too if he was the main character. So that very much was that segment in the game. And in the Super Nintendo version, it was also the hardest ending for several different reasons, though I think in the remake they're all more or less equal. And lastly, Kevin and Charlotte share their storyline, with Charlotte trying to save Heath and Kevin trying to revive his lost puppy, Carl, who was not actually dead. Like I said, all the stories kind of resolve themselves at the end. Kevin and Charlotte's are probably the least investing ones, I would say. But Kevin himself is a character worth getting invested in, because I think his conflict is actually really cool. I pretty much said everything I really wanted to say, and I love this game, I love the music, I love the characters, and I'm sure this is one of those games I'm going to revisit again and again and again, pretty much up until, you know, I'm a 90-year-old Snek in the old Snek's home, and I'm like, guys, let's do some Trials of Mana, and the old folks will get mad at me, because it'll probably be like the millionth time I played it. It's just a wonderful game with a simple story and robust mechanics and so much charm that I just had to share it, and I thought it would be a fun, more long-form kind of experience after doing the Battle Network games, for instance, which are fairly short by comparison. So, I just wanted to thank you guys for tagging along. I know this has not been the most popular Let's Play I've done, but for those of you who have enjoyed it, thank you for your support, and thank you for being on board with it. For those who didn't like it, well, it's over now. And that's kind of the best I got. I'm going to let these credits play out. But rather than babble over the entire credit sequence, I'm just going to leave you off here. The next Let's Play in line is going to probably be Pokemon White, unless I have some kind of mechanical reason why I can't, in which case I'll jump straight into Battle Network 3. And you guys will kind of see the wrinkles that I've been hinting about for each of those, trying to make those Let's Plays a little more engaging for you at home. This is the Hipster Snek. This is Trials of Mana. Thank you for joining me on the journey to obtain the Mana Sword and save the world. I'll see you next time.